it's certainly been challenging, but also really exciting. But I think the word that describes it the most for me at this stage is it's been rewarding. Well, first of all, that year was really useful for me. It gave me the chance to understand the business, understand the company culture, but also work with lots of people to understand where their strengths and where their weaknesses lay. It also gave people the chance to work with me and understand me and what I'm about. In terms of vision, that's really simple, and we want to take the success that we've had in North America, we're clear market leaders here, and then we want to emulate that in certain targeted regions of the world. We think it's a realistic vision, and we've got a long-range plan in place to help us deliver on that vision. But at the same time, we've also got plans to deliver a plethora of new features and functionality for our existing users in North America. A wise man once said to me that in order to be successful, you need to surround yourself with people who are better than you are. And I feel really fortunate here at SDS too to be surrounded by such a strong and competent management team. In terms of the wider team, I believe that we've got the most knowledgeable sales and marketing team, the most talented development team, and the best customer service team in the industry. And more importantly, we're all aligned on our vision, the vision to provide the best software and service to our industry. At CSC, I gained a lot of experience in direct sales, business-to-business sales, sales management and business management. I also managed a market entry into North America during one of the worst economic periods in living memory, and I was lucky enough to work with an exceptional visionary leadership team. Trimble broadened my industry knowledge. It also gave me experience of working with large engineering firms and key account management, and also gave me an insight into the challenges of merging companies together following the acquisition of CSC. Of course, what it also did was give me an in-depth knowledge of one of SDS2's competitors. I'm enjoying applying this knowledge to the role at SDS2. While I'm always learning, I do feel like I've got a lot of information to bring to the table, and while I may not have all the answers, I feel like I know which questions need to be asked. When I started this role as CEO, I felt like we were facing a number of challenges, but rather than dealing with them one by one in isolation, I took the decision to work with the management team and almost kind of reinvent ourselves to solve all the challenges at the same time. We started with our mission and vision statements, and then moved on to defining our core values. They ended up being innovation, collaboration and reliability. Now, whenever we need to make important decisions going forward, we always refer back to these core values, but also make sure that we're satisfying the requirements of our customers primarily, but also the staff and our shareholders. The next stage of the process was to put together a long-range plan and then organise ourselves in such a way that we can deliver on that plan. Now, SDS2 has a really strong kind of community feel about it. We have a strong culture, and I would say, going back to the original question, that the biggest challenge that we've faced is working through all of these changes while making sure that we don't lose that community feel and we don't sacrifice our culture. We need to make sure that we deliver to our shareholders and to Nemetschek. We need to make sure that we continue to delight our customers. But it's really important to me that we maintain our identity and stay true to ourselves and who we want to be. In terms of success, I would say that the biggest success so far has been the timely release of version 2020, which we released in January. There was a very big expectation from our client base and from the market on this, and it would have been very, very easy to disappoint, but the feedback so far has been really positive. Nemetschek has a good approach to this, and it was this approach that attracted me to the group in the first place. Nemetschek acquire businesses or brands, as we call them, but then allows them to work autonomously We can still work very closely together, of course, and that provides the best of both worlds. It means that we can leverage the success and the global presence of different organisations within Nemetschek, but it doesn't risk losing the competitive advantage that unique domain knowledge that we all have provides. And this sets us apart from all of our competitors and allows us to remain much closer to our customers, in our opinion. That question can actually mean two different things. You could be asking me about the company or the product. But if I take them one by one, thinking about the product, we've got, I think, lots of unique selling points that differentiate us. But the one sort of unique and irrefutable difference between the way SDS2 approaches the subject compared to all of our competitors is that SDS2 is built around automated and intelligent connection design. And when you think about it, that makes perfect sense. If you ever go into a fabrication facility, a fab shop, then what you'll see is that 90%, probably more than 90% of all the work in that fabrication shop is cutting and drilling and welding for the steel connections. So to have a steel detailing solution that focuses on that makes perfect sense. In fact, it's hard to understand why anybody would choose anything other than that, in truth. When it comes to the company, I think there are two things. I've already mentioned both of them. One, of course, is the people. We've got a dedicated and motivated team, all aligned with the same company vision. But then the autonomy that being part of the Nemetschek Group provides us with, that enables us to sort of maintain our customer focus, which I think is really, really important. I think as an industry, our biggest challenge is attracting new talent. And we're sort of helping address this by a number of things. We're refocusing on our education initiatives, getting SDS2 into schools, but also focusing on an educational version of the software with self-learning to help people almost teach themselves to become steel detailers. We are planning to introduce an intern program later this year, and also we're putting a lot of development work at the moment into a completely revised user interface and user experience for the software itself, which will be more in line with what younger generations of potential users will expect. I think it's actually quite unfair to ask me to choose. Obviously, UK will always be close to my heart, and I've enjoyed actually living and working in all of those places. I actually currently live in Colorado and commute to work in Nebraska, which is tough and has its challenges. I love the mountains in Colorado, but I really like the people in Lincoln. I can't actually move my family to Lincoln right now. My kids are at a crucial stage of their education, but once they're through that, then hopefully I can bring them here as well. One day, I would hope to live by the ocean there. That's definitely my family. But as I've already mentioned, we don't spend a huge amount of time together at the moment because I commute from Colorado to Nebraska. It's only 500 miles, but it means that I only see them at weekends. What that does mean, though, is when we do spend time together, it's quality time. So actually, I really appreciate the weekends even more than I did before. When it comes to stress relief, I enjoy hiking with my kids, skiing with my family, but my real passion is for scuba diving, and that's taken us all to some really cool places over the years.